Hello and thanks for tuning in again. This is Chris, another episode documenting my journey to building a crime analytics app using Detroit's 911 data. Now, I ran into an issue this morning that stopped the application from updating 911 calls for the whole entire day of Thursday. I was able to fix it. I'll explain the changes, but previously it was only showing calls up to 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursday instead of the entire day for Thursday. Because how this map works, just to clarify, the map pulls in the last day for all the 911 calls. So if it's since today's Friday, the map will always show everything from the previous day. However, the heat map will show data up to the last 60 days from what I remember. I think it was 60 or 90, but this will show more data of, this everything in this heat map is not going to always be displayed in the map. So this is just to show you data over time. This is to show you data that happened recently on the map. So back to the solution or the issue that I was having. So as you can see in this error in CloudWatch for the Lambda function, I received a primary key error. So that means that one of these incidents or many of these incidents may have the same primary key. So that could literally mean another 911 call was about the same incident and it was being updated, or there might be another record tied to that. However, that was the problem that was causing the heat map to not update, and as well as the map to not show the most recent calls from the day before. So I was able to fix this problem by altering and I can show you that in the code here. So this is my schema that I built for the incident. So before it was just a incident ID, this was the primary key here. And now I'm using a GUID, which is another column that I'm using to create random generated unique IDs using the PG crypto package. So that's going to handle making sure that I create a unique primary key, regardless if there are duplicate incident IDs. So I ran some scripts to update the table. However, once I deploy this and retest the deployment, that won't be necessary since this will already be set in place. So yeah, so fortunately I was able to get a success code with that. And yeah, so I got more data. So as you can see, this one came from the 27th at 10 o'clock. So that's after 4 a.m. This happened in the evening. So everything's working fine here. So yeah, the next steps is privatizing my RDS database. So right now I have, at the time of me recording this, everything was living inside of a public subnet. Now that's absolutely not acceptable for a production application. I was just doing that for testing so I can quickly, troubleshoot and log into my database. The reason I did it that way instead of through the Amazon console was because, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it to work with Postgres. It only worked for like the I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Aurora SQL. So since I wasn't using that specifically, I'm using RDS, I wasn't able to do that. So I had to do a little workaround using PG admin to log in. But after everything's said and done, I'm going to have another EC2 instance that I can privately connect to that will allow me to access the database internally without exposing it to the public internet. And also the password, secret admin password, is not something that's going to also change. But right now I'm just in the middle of updating the security groups. So as you can see here, I wrote some notes here just to explain what is going on. So I'm declaring that's the security group. I meant to say the subnet, so that's up here. So I'm deprecating this, and I'm just creating a new subnet in those two availability zones with a CIDR range that will support that. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be making more updates, and I plan to have this application live in public by today. I did add a disclaimer letting people know this is for research purposes and not to depend on it for any real emergencies. So yeah, so that's what's coming down the pipe, and yeah, so that's it. Stay tuned on my next one, and take care.